Hey there, Planetary Kin. So welcome to the Yellow Human Wave spell, which runs from Wednesday the 1st of December to the 14th. The Yellow Human Wave spell is, so we've just finished the storm cycle, and you may have all gone through a certain amount of transformation, of change, of not knowing what the heck's going on, and breakthroughs happening, and a little bit of chaos in all of that, and the phoenix rising from the ashes, perhaps. So anyway, now that leads us into the human wave spell, where we become aware of our free will, that we have choice. This is a free will planet, and you are a co-creator with consciousness of whatever culture you would like to co-create. So I'm going to share this yellow human wave spell in a story that was written a while ago, but it's still valid, even more so today. So there was once a child with a very strong will. She had a deep attraction to her ancestors and a great desire to learn a lot fast. There sat a deep sense of purpose in her bones, a sense of strong destiny, wherein she was to influence many people. She felt the need to understand many things quickly, so she listened deeply to her elders and felt the presence of the most wise ancestors from her bloodlines guiding her on her path. And that relates to yellow magnetic human. And then we have red lunar Skywalker. She loved to meet people from different cultures, to hear the stories of how their people lived and survived. She was especially interested to hear of the older yet agile. She found a deep interest in witnessing those people that were the most fit, especially them when they were getting on in years and yet did not seem to embody a feeling of old, but were lively and spirited. She found it interesting to observe how they lived their lives in comparison to those that were less alive and less vital, and the choices that the two groups of people made in their lives. Number 3 is White Electric Wizard. She was very receptive and would allow all she saw to be felt deeply, as if it were her own experience. She would enter into a timeless state, enchanted by the patterns that she saw that seemed to repeat through all she met, activated by those patterns which revealed the greatest vitality and pure life. She reflected the patterns of those that exhibited the greatest vitality, allowing her to feel the truths that bonded these people to living strong and energized lives. She saw that these choices ensured the survival of the fittest and promised long life. Number 4, which is Blue Self-Existing Eagle. She began to form a bigger picture with awareness of the illusory. She was willing to allow her mind to create the most magical scenarios with opportunities for the highest flowering of all beings. She saw that people's choices created their lives and ensured that she would co-create the most divine life she could imagine for herself, while offering these same possibilities to others. She began to understand the opportunities gifted through living a fully embodied and vital life in the present moment. She found the more she came into her body, the more vivid were her visions of a world magical and alive, where people lived in harmony with each other, and she began to project those visions into a new and vibrant future. Number 5, which must be the yellow overtone warrior. For those of you who know Sasha Stone, this is his signature. She began to fearlessly question things as they were, choosing to follow a powerful guidance that revealed how beautiful her creations could be. Those around her that were holding to limitation would get uncomfortable with her incessant prodding. Yet she was not deterred, as her dreams revealed the power of her quest eye on. The powerful promise of a new time where all could survive abundantly on this abundant planet. She deeply questioned greed and the limitation it brought on all levels to all peoples. Number 6 would be Red Rhythmic Earth. The answers to her questions came through watching the Earth's creatures. The winds also whistled answers on the breeze. She became accustomed to tracking her answers through walking the earth and following her clues and codes revealed through synchronicities that came thick and strong. She began to gain an awareness of Earth's evolving cycles, great and small, as she began to feel them deeply in her own body. Through listening, she became acutely aware of the changes in the environment and listened intently for the messages of spirit blowing in the wind with the promise of a growing potential of harmony to be present for all beings. Her own body became her barometer as she listened deeply and intently for its messages of cycles evolving. Number 7 would be white resonant mirror. She became inspired as she aligned with the truth of her heart, noticing a deep resonance with those that were open and willing to reflect the bare truth of each moment, reflecting truly the kinship that occurs when all that is not real drops away and the heart is free to connect in its natural caring for others. This true heart opening of a sense of family inspired the dreaming of new culture, unbound by age-old customs of limitation that no longer serve the truth of this moment's reality, resonating deeply in the heart of truth. And then we'll have galactic storm. Her dreams were now guiding her towards the change that was needed. Her mind became highly active as she began to connect telepathically with those whose hearts she could feel, generating a deeply integrated energy catalyzing real change. Thinking outside the box of the major paradigm became more and more illuminating, diving deep into old shared thought forms of the collective unconscious, freeing them up. She became a catalyst to those around her, allowing all their minds to become illuminated with thoughts of sovereign independence. So she continued her practice of diving deep into the inherited conditioning, transforming those thoughts into pure energy, allowing space for the freedom of being a pure conduit for spirit's messages expressed through physical form, unbound and free, being the divine dance of life. And then we come to solar sun. As she realized herself as sovereign, light began to pulse through her as life opened ever more strongly. As she continued to question all old structures that were not rooted in the power of birthing the flow of new and pure life, her intelligence guided her to the sun, and it began to dawn on her that all cultures that flourished were dedicated to honoring the sun. She began to realize the patterns of the ages as she looked back through time, realizing the sun as the source of all light, that the illumination of that light in her own being gifted her with a strong will that had been guiding her forward her whole life, pulsing her strongly towards fearlessly shining her own sovereign light. With this revelation, she set the intention to fearlessly allow the light to birth the new through her as co-creator with the highest will of the Creator. She, as co-creator, connected to source consciousness, enlightening and radiant. And the 10th, which is red planetary dragon. Shining with this revelation, she perfected what it was to nurture and purify her own body, producing as she walked amongst the people a deep sense of responsibility and caring, able to respond in a nurturing way to reveal the importance of purifying our bodies, that we may embody more light and align our will with the will of the Creator. Helping others to attend to their needs and purify their bodies, she became a mama to all, and people looked up to her with respect as she shared her influence for the betterment of the people. She held to her responsibility that all may also allow their light to shine brightly in their greatest potential. She became a great leader of the people as her deep caring was felt by all, as it was seen that her first consideration was the caring and nurturing of the people. With this came the understanding of water as the food of life, and so the cleansing of the waters became important to all peoples. The people began to emulate the waters and become fluid in their movements, able to respond in the moment to each other's needs, sharing and caring. She influenced others as her choices reflected caring. She walked her own way, yet with a deep sense of assisting others to also find their own way, to make their own choices, to align with their own sovereign minds, encouraging them to hop off the treadmill, to question evolution's timing in their own lives, aware of synchronicities that guide. And as the people recognized her fluid and caring nature and the great light she shined, so their minds were encouraged to illuminate and question. Number 11, which will be spectral wind. She found liberation of the load she was carrying through aligning her will with the higher will, becoming Spirit's messenger, delivering messages direct from Spirit's beckoning. Here came the freedom of choosing to align with her own free will, to align her own free will with the will of Spirit. As the messenger, she became a catalyst for change at very deep levels of the collective unconscious. As Spirit's words hit the mark fair and square every time, and she found release through serving the spiraling evolution. Number 12 will be crystal night, blue crystal night. She was shown far-reaching visions of the abundance that lay asleep in the collective creative mind. By sharing those visions, she witnessed the unlocking of limitation in the collective mind. The more she shared, the more people were able to access the greater vision of the planet's hidden contract of abundance for all beings. All were in wonder at the illusion of lack they had been living in, fueled by greed and a sense of lack. The more the people questioned, the more the collective mind began to see and envision the abundance that lay underneath all fear. The people became fearlessly creative and began to cooperate, envisioning planetary community, living in the abundance created through sharing and caring and living the dream of our beloved Earth Mother. And then the 13th and final day of the cycle is yellow cosmic seed. And so the new time of harmony and peace became more present as the people saw themselves as co-creators with each other, consciousness and nature. So the seeds of the new culture, based on listening to and honoring the Earth's evolution, came to be, and the old paradigm of greed and control was transcended, thanks to our strong-willed girl who chose to question the culture of lack. Yes, so yellow human Wavespell running from the 1st of December to the 14th of December, a time to look at what we choose, look at what we give away our power to, and begin to choose the reality that you want for yourself and your family. So yellow human Wavespell, signing out. This is Vasumi. The website, my website is timewaves.org. If you'd like to read that story, you just enter into the search yellow human Wavespell, which is Wavespell is one word, 13-day cycle. So blessed be, may you enjoy this cycle, may we choose wisely, maybe we look to the ancients and the ancestors and look to the cultures that created the greatest harmony and beauty on the planet. And my suggestion is look to the Mayan calendar as it holds the keys for these times of creating a new and harmonic culture altogether. So blessed be in Lakesh, I am another yourself. I don't want to stop.